everyone. It's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Good afternoon, y'all. I hope you're having a great day. I could not send out a text today, so hopefully some of y'all will get your Facebook notifications. But we are going to make some flourless pumpkin muffins. And they're made with almond flour, so I don't know if you can say that they're flourless, but that's what the recipe says. This is not my recipe. I got this off of Pinterest, and I will be sure to share the recipe with you all. It comes from chocolatecoveredkatie.com. And I'm also going to attempt to make some kind of frosting to go on top of these. These are, of course, sugar-free. And I don't know if that they're low calorie. I haven't really looked at what the calorie count is on them, but they are sugar free, and they are low in carbs, so they should be a little bit better for us. So anyways, that's the plan. So when you hop on, say hello, let me know you're watching. Hopefully they turn out. Sometimes when you do recipes like this, it's like hit or miss. 9 times out of 10, they're not any good. So hopefully today is one of those hits, okay? I'm hoping today's the day and that they're going to be really yummy. So let's see who we got joining today. I hope that y'all are having a good day. I know that it is cool in lots of parts of the country. It's warmed up just a little bit here today than it was earlier. The sun's come out, so it feels a little bit better, but it's still pretty cold outside. All right. Hi, Ruby. Thank you so much for sprinkling. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Heidi. Hey, Larissa. I'm glad you always get your YouTube notification. That's awesome. YouTube works like a charm, doesn't it? All right, so let me tell you, me too, Kathy, me too. Let me tell you what is in this recipe. So these are mini muffins. So I've got my mini muffin pan, and I've already taken a paper towel and some butter and did butter all inside the pan. I am never, ever against using butter, no matter how healthy I'm trying to be. Butter is real, and I'm going to use it. So rubbed the inside with butter for the muffins to come out a little bit easier. Hey, Jean, I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for watching today. So then the other ingredients that this needs is almond flour. So I'm using this one right here, the Blue Diamond almond flour, finely sifted. Hello, everyone over on YouTube. P's for joining me. And then a can of pumpkin puree. Okay, this is just the real pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling. Okay, the real pumpkin. I've got some vanilla, I've got salt, pumpkin pie spice, and then sweetener. And I've got 2 different types of sweeteners. I'm probably going to be using both. I have monk fruit brown sugar, and then I've also got Splenda. So we're making flourless pumpkin muffins. Then I'm also going to try and make some kind of cottage cheese frosting to go on the top. So here's the thing. I thought sure there would be some kind of cottage cheese frosting recipe, but nothing struck my fancy. And there really wasn't much on Pinterest in the way of cottage cheese frosting. So we'll see what we can come up with. Basically, I just want something a little sweet, a little tangy to go on the top, similar to cream cheese frosting, but much lower in calories. So, hi, Darlene. So that's the plan, okay? This looks like a really easy recipe. It also comes, you also need eggs. Now, I'm going to be doubling this recipe because it says that it makes 4 regular-sized muffins, and it does recommend using mini muffins instead of the regular muffins. It says that they're lighter in texture if you use the mini muffins. So that's what I'm going to use, the mini muffins. But if it only makes 4 regular muffins, then I feel like it's only going to make like 12 mini muffins, and I want to fill up my pan. Okay, so I'm gonna do double, and we'll see if we can get 24 mini muffins out of this, okay? All right, so we're gonna start with then 2 cups of almond flour, and that is doubled. You know what, I'm actually going to do, I like to do my wet ingredients first. So let's start with the eggs. We're gonna do 2 eggs. Oops, I got a shell in there. Let me fish that out. Okay. 2 eggs in there. I'm going to give these little whisks. And then we need 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree. And I'm just using the canned. Maybe you have some left over in your freezer from the fall or something like that. I don't have any this here. I think I used it all. All right. So let's open this up. Hi, Maxine. Hey, Teresa. Hi, Carol. Do y'all like pumpkin things? I feel like people don't like pumpkin flavored stuff as much as I feel like people would. When I did pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, it just wasn't, a lot of people didn't want it, which surprises me because I think it's delicious. Andrew and I love it, but a lot of the people did not want anything to do with it. Okay. That is 2/3 of a cup. It doesn't seem like very much to me, but I'm going to follow the recipe. We're going to see how this goes. So we got 2 eggs and 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin. And I'm going to whisk this up. Now this recipe does not call for vanilla, but why would you not put vanilla in it? I mean, that's just my opinion. So we're going to put a little bit of vanilla in there. And we've just got what looks like baby food right now. We are making pumpkin muffins, flourless pumpkin muffins. All right, now we're gonna add in, oh, I need baking powder. I didn't grab that. Okay, so let's start adding in our dry ingredients. That's our wet ingredients. Let me grab the baking powder. Okay. Rosemary says she likes pumpkin muffins, but not pumpkin pie. Yay, Denise, I'm glad you're joining me. All right, so for baking powder, we need 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. That's a lot. So we need then, for this, because I'm doubling it, we need a whole tablespoon of baking powder. Okay. Then we need 2 cups of almond flour. Yes, Lorianne, it was doubled. It called for 1/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree. So we did 2/3 of a cup. And it calls for 1 cup of almond flour. So we're going to, like I said, we're doubling it. So we're going to do 2 cups of almond flour. Just probably not measured exactly. Then we need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use regular table salt. Sometimes I feel like when I use kosher salt, it just does not, you still get the little bits of salt. So we're going to use table salt. Calls for 1/4 teaspoon, so we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon. All right, then 1/2 teaspoon, so therefore a whole teaspoon, of pumpkin pie spice. Thank you, Bonnie. And then the sweetener. So it calls for 3 tablespoons, which does not sound like a lot at all. So I'm actually going to taste this before I bake it. So it would be 6 tablespoons. I'm going to use, I want to mix and do a little bit of the Splenda, which I only have the packets of, because I don't sometimes love the monk fruit. So we're going to mix it. So here's what I'm going to do, because I don't have the Splenda not in packets. I'm going to dump some out. I don't really know how much is in a packet. Maybe some of y'all know. That way I can then measure it out. So maybe if we can get, Splenda does seem to be a little sweeter, don't y'all think, than sugar? Hi, Marcia. Hi, Sandy. Let's see if this is a tablespoon. Okay. So this is a tablespoon of Splenda. And then let's do, we're going to do 4 tablespoons of the monk fruit, and then I'm going to taste it. It smells really good. So it calls for 3, and we're doubling it. So 6 tablespoons of sweetener. I did 5 in here because I did Splenda. So we're going to see. I don't want it to be too sweet, but I also want it to be sweet enough. So I'm just going to see what happens. Taking it easy here. Mix this up. We got everything in there. With this, you don't have to worry about over mixing it because it's not made with flour. So you're not going to develop the gluten in it, which makes them tough. Okay. I'm going to taste a little bit. It's sweet enough. I think it's the Splenda. You only use sweetener or sugar, I mean. I try not to use sugar. I really try not to. Okay. So that's the mix. We've got the almond flour, 2 cups of almond flour, 5 tablespoons. We did 1 tablespoon of Splenda and 4 tablespoons of the brown sugar monk fruit sweetener. Then we've got a whole tablespoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, a whole teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice or cinnamon, 2/3 of a cup of pumpkin puree, and 2 eggs. You could also add chocolate chips in here or nuts or anything like that. Almond flour is just basically almonds that have been blanched, and then it's like ground up into a mill. It does not have gluten in it, I don't think. I think it is gluten-free. Yeah, it's gluten-free, vegan, paleo, and keto friendly. It's low in carbs. All right, let me grab my scoop, the small scoop, and we're gonna scoop our muffins. I'm just gonna scoop them with my This is the size scoop. I don't know specifically what the measurement is on this. It's maybe a couple of tablespoons. I'm just scooping them off level. We're gonna stick these in the oven for 10 minutes, and we're gonna work on some kind of frosting while they're baking. Hillbilly J, I will tell you that I think that certainly when you're baking, anything with sugar is going to turn out best. But when you're trying to do better about eating less sugar and lower calories, that just doesn't work. So you find other options that, you know, aren't going to be as bad and aren't going to turn up the volume on my sugar cravings. Okay, so far, we're not going to be able to get all 18, I don't think. But I think it's a good thing we doubled the recipe. Okay, I think that's about it. Okay, yes, Kathy, we're gonna make some kind of cream cheese frosting. It's not gonna be cream cheese though. Okay, so there's our little muffins. I'm gonna pop these in the oven for 10 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna set the timer for 8 minutes, just in case. Okay. So let's see what we can make for our cream cheese frosting, okay? Like I said, I am winging this right here, okay? Sometimes I do that. I have got some cottage cheese that's already blended. I'm gonna take the rest of this and put it in a bowl. So I've already blended it so that it's super smooth, okay? What I did the last time I went to the store is I just took a whole tub and blended it super, super smooth. And that way I could make ranch with it or any kind of sauces that I wanted to make, and I didn't have to keep getting my blender out. All right, so let's, we're gonna start by, I'm gonna add some vanilla. Do you really, Stephanie? Because I looked for some and I couldn't find any. So I'm gonna add vanilla, and then I'm gonna grab zero sugar cheesecake Jello. Now, I've already used some of this one. We're not gonna use all of it. I'm gonna put a tablespoon first. We'll add more if we need it. I'm gonna grab a whisk. And whisk this up. So the pudding is going to thicken it a little bit, which is what we want. It's also going to sweeten it a little. We are going to have to sweeten it more though, because I don't think this is going to be sweet enough. But you can see how it's getting thick now. So we did 1 tablespoon of the pudding mix. And if it gets too thick, we can add some almond milk to it. But it's taking on the consistency of frosting. But the question is it any good? Okay, let me taste it. Let's see if we need to add any sweetener. That's pretty darn close, actually. Hang on. Y'all, that's actually really close to cream cheese frosting. I think that's good. Gosh, I don't know that I need to add anything else. I thought that maybe I would add a little bit of sweetener, but it tastes sweet enough. I think it's a little thicker than what I want it, so I am going to add some almond milk. So I'm just using unsweetened almond milk. Just going to add a little bit. Almond milk, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you cannot use almond milk to make pudding. That type of pudding. Ooh, that's not good. My thing just fell apart. Hang on a second, y'all. Let's ditch that. Yay, Rhonda, I'm so glad to hear that. So almond milk does not work with the pudding mixes. And so when you add the almond milk, it won't keep getting thicker. It'll thin it out a little bit. It's got to be dairy milk. So I'm just keep adding this until I like the consistency. That's looking better. I'm liking that. Okay, so here we go. Here is our frosting made out of cottage cheese. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay. I never use, Teresa, I never use almond milk to drink. So I honestly can't really tell you because I never drink it like just by itself. I add it to my coffee and I use it for stuff like this, but I never drink it just by itself. It's not cow's milk, that's for sure. It doesn't even come close to cow's milk. However, it works. It goes in my coffee, and it's not the same as cow's milk, but it's certainly close. I feel like the flavor is very similar in my coffee. It's also a whole lot less calories. Okay, this is 30 calories for 1 cup, and I believe regular cow's milk, or we drink in this house, if we're going to have cow's milk, we drink whole milk. Okay, so that's going to be like over 100 calories for 1 cup. Carol, it's just been learned. I've just tried a few different recipes just over the past few months because Andrew and I are trying to eat lower calories or healthier food. And we love dips. We love creamy things. You know, we just love that type of stuff. Sauces, all of that. And so it started with making, I made ice cream last year, which was really good with the cottage cheese. Then I, this year, made cottage cheese ranch. And we just absolutely fell in love with it. And so then it's just been this like thing from there on out. What can I make with cottage cheese? Because it seems to be I can make just about anything with cottage cheese. And it just makes so many less calories. So yeah, exactly. It's just been some things I'm finding recipes and some things I'm just making. So for instance, the Chipotle lime sauce that I make for my shrimp tacos, I just threw that together and it was really good. Okay, y'all, they rose. Let's see here. I think they probably need another. Yeah, I don't think they're ready yet, but they look really pretty. They look really pretty. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. The recipe did say 10. So let's give it 2 more minutes.
Bye, hang up, go.
Okay, bye. And let's see. And more protein for sure. That's another thing that you could do for your frosting, is use, instead of the cheesecake pudding mix, use protein powder. You could try that as well. That might work. Cottage cheese ranch, Teresa Smith. If you haven't tried it yet, I highly, highly recommend it. It is amazing, and all it is, I've shared the recipe on here a couple of times, but all it is cottage cheese. This is the one that I use, just the cottage cheese, small curd, Kroger brand. You know, I just buy the big tub of it. You need 2 cups of that in 1 packet of cottage cheese dip mix. Blend it all together, and it's delicious. It's delicious. I need to have protein, my doctor says. Yes, Teresa. Well, try cottage cheese because it's loaded with protein. Yes, MCL Creation says her husband loves cottage cheese ranch and he does not like cottage cheese. See, that's what I've been trying to tell y'all. Have you tried cottage? I haven't. Okay, hang on a second. We tried a cottage cheese pizza crust. It wasn't the flatbread. It was a pizza crust, and it was not good. I will say it was not good. It was flimsy and it was eggy. It was kind of like an omelet is kind of what it was. All right, y'all. It's hard to say if these are done or not. They're starting to get a little brown on the edges. I would say that they're going to be a little softer. Yes, Denise, that is the pasta sauce recipe. But I don't know, y'all. What does it say? Pour 15 minutes for large. Remove from the oven, let cool, during which time they continue to firm up. Okay. So this is what the recipe says. The recipe says bake for 10 minutes on the center rack or 15 minutes for large muffins. Remove from the oven, let cool, during which time they will continue to firm up as they cool. Carefully go around the sides of each pumpkin muffin with a knife and pop them out. Okay? 52 calories is how many calories they are. I just saw that on here. So that's not bad at all. Let's see. They have, it's saying 14 servings. So I didn't get 14 servings. I got less than that because I have 12 plus 8 is 20. So I only got 10 servings out of one of hers. So then that would mean there would be more calories than 52. 2.2 grams of carbs and 1.5 grams of dietary fiber. So that means it's got less than 1 gram of carbs per muffin. That's really good.
No. Why do you need a ball?
So we'll see how they turn out, y'all. Let me show you what they look like.
We all use those. We don't have enough. I just put it in there because I'll use it.
All right, so this is how they look. They're very pretty. We're going to let them set up and cool, and then I'll remove them after they've cooled. And when they've cooled completely, we'll put our frosting on top and taste before we put our frosting on all of them. Can you all say hello real quick?
What?
People are saying hello to y'all.
Oh. Hey.
They're off to lacrosse practice. Hi. Let's watch muffins.
Go.
All right, y'all. Holly, I get them from Pinterest usually all over the place, wherever I can find something that sounds good. But I will be sure and share this recipe, and I'll let you know if it's good or not. Okay? I have high hopes. I always have high hopes, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. Okay? MCL Creations, they are pumpkin. They're flourless pumpkin muffins. They were made with almond flour. If y'all haven't tried, though, my banana pudding, my cottage cheese banana pudding, I've shared it before with you all. It's delicious. That is one recipe so far that I have come up with that is low calorie and low in sugar and is actually delicious. So close to the real thing. So close to the real thing. So try that if you haven't. And that is just cottage cheese and the banana pumpkin mix. The sugar-free banana pumpkin mix. Not banana pumpkin. Sugar-free banana pudding mix blended together, and that's your pudding mixture. And it's so yummy. I also add sweetener. I added more Splenda to it because it's not quite sweet enough. But anyways, it's really yummy. So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll share a picture here in a little while and give you the recipe. Okay? Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Holly, it is